Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of The Tell with Joelle. I am here with the one, the only, Sandrine Mattei.
Hi, Joelle.
Hi. This lady right here is so near and dear to my heart. You are just amazing. I love her so much. She pushed me in a time in my life where my dance goals didn't seem possible, and she helped me achieve them and told me that I could do it. So I'm super excited that I get to sit here and interview her today.
It wasn't hard to tell you can do it. You have the talent.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Tell me where you're from.
I'm from France, exactly Corsica. It's a small island in the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay, and
there.
How long were you there for before you moved?
I was there 12 years.
Okay.
12 years, and at the end of my family stayed, but I went to Nice, France, to study at the National Conservatory of Music and Dance.
Awesome. And so did you start dancing in your hometown?
Yes, with my mother.
Oh,
my mom owned the city dance studio.
Okay.
There was only one at the time.
Uh-huh.
So she owned the studio, and I studied ballet with her, and And then when she couldn't stand me in her classes anymore, she sent me away.
She said, you can go over here.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So once you moved, were you full-time dancing or were you going to school as well?
It was a program where you go to school in the morning.
Awesome.
And then in the afternoon, you danced. So you have, every day we had ballet, modern, contemporary, jazz.
And you were 13?
I was 12 and a half when I integrated the school, yeah.
Okay. And how was that, being away from your parents?
It was hard. I'm not going to lie. The first years. The first years were hard. At 12 and a half.
Yeah, you're so young.
Mom at the end of the day. And then I was one of the only kids there that had to be away from their family.
Got you, because everybody else lived there?
Mm-hmm. And I was living at the time in foster family.
Got you, that took you in.
Yeah. So I went through two families. The first one didn't really work out.
Oh.
I had no bedroom. I was in the living room for
Gotcha.
I had nowhere, to retreat.
You need your own space.
So I moved on. So this first year was the hardest, and then when I found my people,
family,
and then finally I had a bedroom, and they were lovely ladies, a mom and a daughter living together.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Yeah.
That's good. How long were you there for at the school?
I was there for until the age of 15 and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from there?
From there, I went back to Corsica, and at the time, my mom had hired this former dancer from Paris Opera Ballet, and he trained me for a year. So it was private class. I was homeschooled and private class for a year to do ballet competitions and prepare for audition. Because in my time, keep in mind this was in 1995, 96.
And doesn't she look so young? That's mind blowing to me.
So that was in 1995, 1996. I trained with him for a full year, and I went on to do ballet competition. And after that, I landed an apprentice contract with the National Ballet of Bordeaux.
That is crazy. That's so cool. What competitions did you do? Like, what kind of competitions are over there? Because I know there's a few different.
It's completely different than here. Here you have all the ballet and contemporary competition like YGP or California Classics, and then you have the more commercial ones.
Yes.
In France, in Europe, we don't have that. France has the National Confederation of Dance.
Okay.
And it's mainly ballet and contemporary and jazz.
Okay.
And
Is
sometimes
jazz
they call
new?
other style. So you can perform anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's pretty much based on a first place, second place, their place.
There's no all these extra
And there is other
words.
extra little, but it's not like everybody comes home
with something.
So it's very different. It's a different culture also. We don't have that.
Yeah,
it's good and bad.
Yes.
It's like
I
everything
feel like
else.
at the competitions here, there's so many, everybody walks away with something, whether it's like, because I mean, a lot of the competitions, they'll do like first, second, third, they'll do overalls, you'll have different styles, different age categories, different brackets, and then they'll do like special judges awards, and then extra like group awards, so there's a lot of extra things. It's interesting that it's like that over there. Is it still like that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think it is still. We still don't have a commercial competition, but I think it's expanded now.
Branching out.
Yeah, and now if you want like those really, really serious competition, like the Prix de Lausanne, this is the purely ballet and contemporary one.
Yeah.
And this is very different. This is a higher professional level. Yeah.
And how is that competing? Like, tell me about, like, did you have to train? Were you on a strict diet? Were you
all of it.
Everything?
All of it, yeah. Especially at the time, I was always on a strict diet.
Really?
Yeah.
So take me through your day-to-day. Like, what were you allowed to eat? What were you not allowed to eat? Did you have to stay a certain way? Is that...
Yes. Oh. Yeah, that was not fun. Because as a teenager, I started, as soon as I hit the 15-year-old, my body started to change drastically.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
as any normal teen would. Yeah.
And for ballet, especially in France at the time, you needed to really be
a certain way
and looking a certain way.
Yeah.
So my years at the conservatory were really great. National school was great. But I was always asked to lose weight. And I was always on diet. Thankfully, my mother was very diligent with that. She wanted to make sure I eat properly, that I had a balanced diet. So that was really great. But still,
you had a support system.
I had, but still, it was never enough. So I kind of, was the kid who was going out with my friends on the weekend, and then we were going to the bakeries and having a little fun. Nobody knew about it, but we were.
That's okay. You were a teenager.
I know.
What else are you supposed to do?
But it was always in a healthy way, and I was lucky because of the support.
Yeah, that you had.
Because sometimes we know that it's not the case.
Yes.
And even though it was in a healthy way, it still affects me.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, you probably still remember it to this day, obviously, and it affects who you are as a person. I 100% agree.
Especially in a time where your body changes constantly. You don't even understand it.
You're going through puberty, Yeah.
And I started, so that part, but then after that, between 16, 17 years old, I really changed. So I had like stronger thighs and a bigger chest, even if it doesn't show today because I'm completely different. I had, and that in tutus, it makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What weight did they say you had to stay in between?
So it was, at the time, oh my gosh, it was in kilos. So everything is in kilos there. Probably, I don't even know in kilos, but you probably had to say, let's say in pounds, 110.
Got you. And that's hard.
That's really
hard. That's very hard, especially being a 15, 16-year-old girl that's going through puberty.
Yeah.
So diet-wise, like very green, like greens and proteins, or
proteins, like one of my teacher used to tell me, 1 boiled eggs, 2 apples a day, it's all fine. Absolutely not. And I never ever encourage my students ever. That doesn't even cross my mind. Absolutely not. I tell my student, you have to eat.
Yes, food.
Otherwise your muscles won't develop. You won't have energy, and it's not
good. It's not
absolutely
healthy.
It's the opposite. But this was completely completely wrong. But when I went back home and I was training for those competitions for a year, my mom makes sure like in the morning I have like some cereals and toast, and because we're French, we don't really eat eggs in the morning. But I always like my bread and like 2 pieces of toast, coffee, a yogurt, something like a fruit, and then substantial, salad for lunch with grilled chicken and still a fruit to finish or dessert, and then we eat at 4 o'clock, after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's just a snack. We call that goûter. It's like means to taste.
Okay.
So usually like bread and chocolate.
Yeah. I love bread and chocolate. My two favorite things.
And then at dinner, soup or anything that's light, but really healthy. But still, even though I was really healthy, my body didn't really follow because I was still in those hormonal stages.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
It didn't. Yeah, I felt it more in company.
Yeah. Were the teachers mean? Can I ask that?
Yeah, you can. I had this one teacher that I absolutely love, and I owe everything to her because she really built my character.
Okay.
And my strength as a dancer.
Yeah.
She was very, very harsh, like old school.
Got you.
Old school ballerina. She was 75 years old, plastic hip, but still could move
Whip you into shape.
And the teaching at the time, it was less dancing, more talking, but we were at the bar, nobody was talking.
Yeah.
Nowadays you get into classes and
everybody's chit-chatting. Yep.
No, everybody was scared of her. She was, I wouldn't say mean, but yeah, sometimes as a child, yes, I thought she was mean. But now as an adult, she wasn't. She was really harsh, but she was actually preparing us
for the real world.
For the real world, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
I've never really had anybody that was
too rough.
Rough, yes, but mean with their words. No.
Okay. I've heard such some stories of like when ballerinas. One of my old teachers had told me a story about how her teacher called her a fat pig, and she will literally remember it to this day, and that's why she makes it a point when she teaches to be very careful with her words, because her teachers, being in the ballet community, she like distinctly remembers that.
Yeah.
And so I'm always curious, because I know you've worked professionally for so long, to hear like.
Yeah. I was never, the word fat was used, but never like fat pigs or fat cow, things like this was never used. But the word fat was used with me for sure.
Really?
Yes. But
that's hard.
And I thought at the time, that's normal.
Yeah, you were used to it.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah, which I never bring my students' body figure ever.
Let's do that. That is crazy.